Wednesday, March 23rd, and we are making good on promises today, right? We are, one of those promises was that these Wednesdays are going to be EMOMs so that we can work on a skill while also getting some weightlifting in. And then another promise was, hey, you know what? Cleans are not going to come up in the strength cycle this time around, but we can do them in a WOD and it'll still feel like we're getting the strength piece of it. So that's exactly what we're doing today. No deadlifts this time, no bench press. We will get to those eventually, but we're going to clean with the barbell. However, let's not bury the lead here. Today is about box jumps. That's going to be our skill of the day. And kind of like rope climbs last week, where in the EMOM itself, we said the number is 3, right? The prescribed number is 3. A lot of people probably responded to that by going like, I can't do 3 rope climbs in a minute. That's going to be really tough. And we know that. We definitely know that. But some people can, and we're going to challenge those people while also still challenging you to find a number that you can complete, not only like in 40 seconds or 45 seconds, but maybe building on what you learn in the skills clinic today. And part of that clinic will be pogoing, which, not everybody will feel comfortable with right away at 20 or 24 inches, but that once you do feel comfortable with it, or if you ever feel comfortable with it, will help you to really take off some reps in a WOD. A little behind the scenes, how these WODs usually go. Laura and I will kick ideas back and forth. We'll get to something like box jumps and she'll go 20 reps. And I'll be like, I can't even do 20 reps in a minute. And she'll look at me like sideways and she'll go like, yes, you can. And I'll head to the gym or I'll head to the basement and I'll give it a shot. And sure enough, I can do 20 box jumps in about 30 seconds. And I was pretty consistent with that today. So even if when we say, hey, somebody can do it, and so we have to write WODs for them, even if that person is me, well, I'm the one talking about it right now, so I have to do it too. I get a challenge as well. I think several of you guys can do this though, pogo or not, so we'll find out. But like I said, if we're modifying box jumps today, it's just because we're gonna find a number that takes us about 40 seconds. Maybe even in the first round, we just go for 40 seconds and see where it takes us, and then try to stay consistent with that going forward. Or we challenge ourselves. Maybe we try to pogo for the first time. Maybe it's at a smaller box. I certainly know that when we go over the skill in this class today, at least in my night classes, we're gonna have some people try the feeling, the stimulus, the intent of a pogoing box jump, but they're gonna do it on like a single 35-pound plate, just to get that step and go feeling, all right? So maybe you'll be able to apply something you learned from that in the WOD, and it'll get you closer to 20. All right, we also have barbell movements today. So this is the clean. We wrote in the notes we want it to be heavy, but of course, heavy means something different to all of us. And certainly heavy might mean one thing in the first round and then mean something completely different in round 4. I'll tell you what I did today. I intended to use 155 pounds and I ended up using 145. It's about 60% of my 1 rep max squat clean. For me, knowing the volume, so 30 squat cleans plus an additional, is it 30 squat cleans? 6 times 5, 30 squat cleans. And then an additional 15 power cleans, felt pretty heavy to me, right? Everybody's gonna be a little bit different. We have some beasts here. But here's how I looked at it. The power cleans were about touch and go. They were about barbell cycling. And if you can do that, then it actually leaves, I have my splits here, I don't know if you can see that. It is the movement, those 3 power cleans, where if you're touching and going, it's the one movement that provides the biggest amount of rest in this workout. For me, it was about 9 or 10 seconds to cycle through 3 power cleans at 145. And then I had an entire 50 seconds to prepare for everything else that was to come, because nothing else is gonna be that quick. When I got to the squat cleans, as we mentioned in our notes, it was time for me to do singles. I looked at that like an Ollie class. Let's say we're doing a fast set of 6 today, where you do your squat clean, you put it down, within 1 or 2 seconds, you get right back on it. And if you do that, I was finishing that in about somewhere between 28 and 35 seconds today. All right, and so I really feel like the load that you choose for the barbell is what's gonna make or break this workout for you. And of course, you can change it if you feel like, oh, I came out too heavy. We would like you to use the same amount of weight for power clean and squat clean, just so that you're kind of feeling that difference out. But if you need to deload at some point during the WOD, please go for that. All right, so again, I used 60% of my 1 rep max, and that felt like perfect amount of weight for me today. Again, the power cleans should feel kind of easy. kind of moderately heavy to heavy, but if it's something that you're touching and going, regardless of how heavy it is, you're going to get it done pretty quickly and give yourself some rest. Now, the machine is the machine. We've been working on these assault bike things for the last couple of weeks where they were basically sprints, right? And you should have an idea whether or not 12 or 10 calories is something that you can fit in a minute by now. Here's the nice thing, all right? The calories on the assault bike butt right up against the power cleans, which are going to provide you some rest. So am I saying that you can steal from the power clean minute? We might not have that luxury today because someone else may need that bike. But if they don't, yeah, you could probably get away with stealing some time from your power cleans. But the bottom line is, what I'm more trying to get across is, it's okay if the 12 or 10 calories takes you right up to the minute. Because then you can kind of just go and you're borrowing some rest for the power clean, but you're doing it within the minute, knowing that you can get that work done pretty quickly. So it all comes down to rest. The other thing to do would be to modify, right? To, again, let's just take 40 seconds of that minute and see what you can achieve on the assault bike within that 40 seconds. And then try to be consistent with it. That'd be maybe our number one option for modifying. RPMs. I was able to hold about a 75 RPM today, somewhere between 72 and 76. It never really wavered from there. And that's been pretty consistent throughout these last couple of EMOMs where we've included the bike. So again, I don't know if it's something you've been looking at, but it ought to be. Get an idea of what you can hold and sustain for about 45 seconds on the assault bike. And then that information will not only be helpful in this WOD, but for all assault bike WODs going forward. Next week, our skill of the day is going to be rowing because we badly need it. All right, not biking though. All right. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Facebook or otherwise. Ask Laura, ask me, ask Beth. We're here. All right. See ya.